Okay, so today is May the 9th, and we're going to go through the last part of the review for the 9 weeks test. One of the things on the 9 weeks test is fractions, and it's add, subtract, multiply, divide. Since we didn't put it on the study guide, that's why I'm doing a little bit of it today. Here we go. Now, the first reason, or the first thing I did when I did these questions, I want you to realize that they may not be in order of like add, subtract, multiply, divide. I hope y'all realize the first thing they gave you was division. So the first thing we got to remember is, oh yeah, on division, you would get rid of any whole numbers and then keep, change, flip. Okay, so we got to remember whatever order they're in. We would change it to multiply and flip it over to 4 over 2. Now, because on division we don't multiply fractions, we change them to we don't divide fractions, we change them to multiply. Okay, once it is changed to multiply and you flip over that second fraction, you are in that magic box that we talked about. From here, we're looking for tops and bottoms that simplify. I would do the 4 and the 8 because they're the biggest and they both are divisible by 4. 4 goes into 4 once. 4 goes into 8 twice. Now I can multiply straight across, giving me a 7 and a 4. Dividing it out, giving me 1 3/4. As long as you got 1 3/4, you're good, even if you didn't simplify. Okay? So for the division, keep, change, flip. For the multiplication, like this one, okay? It is already set up, to be honest, it's already multiplied. There are no whole numbers. So on this one, we kind of get real lucky and we can just multiply straight across. Listen, 7 times 1. 7. 9 times 9.
81.
81. Some of you on the last test went crookedy. I do not know why. Like, you don't do that. You go straight across. The other thing is, you might have said 9 times 9 was like 82. Yes, you missed it. Like, we got to get it all right. Okay, so hint, hint. There's some things to watch out for. Okay, on number 3, I realized up there on the board I had written it sideways even though it was add or subtract. That's because on the test tomorrow, they're all written sideways. Okay? So, I realized even if it's written like this, I didn't teach it that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, I'm going to rewrite it on my paper the way that, I don't know, the way I've learned it. Okay? Now, so looking at this one, common denominator. You've got to have a common denominator with add or subtract. Common denominator of an 8 and a 3? 24. Okay. Now, to create the numerator, I'm thinking 8 times 3 is 24. 7 times 3 is 21. Down here, I'm thinking 3 times 8 is 24. 1 times 8 is 8. Okay, it is subtraction. So 21 minus 8, 13 out of 24. And it doesn't simplify. Good on that one? Some of you are looking like I'm crazy, so I'm starting to wonder if I'm wrong. Okay, number 4 was also written sideways, but on my paper, I would stack it up. I have 4/6 plus 2 1/3. Okay. I will admit on that one, it's kind of odd to see this whole number only on the bottom, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. Common denominator, 6 and 3.
18.
You can do 18. You're going to have a little more simplifying. 6. Remember, it's got to be like if you skip count by those numbers, like which one do you hit first? 6. That's why I'm choosing 6. Okay? 6 times 1 is 6, so 4 times 1 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. It is addition, so I'm seeing 4 plus 2 is 6 over 6 with the 2. Okay? 6, 6 means 1 whole plus 2 wholes, so it equals 3 whole. Okay? I would say one thing that's good about the test tomorrow is with it being A, B, C, or D, if you're not seeing your answer, check to make sure you simplified. And then maybe like you copied it wrong, maybe you subtracted instead of added type stuff. Keep working till you find your answer. That's my only thing. Okay, number 5. Did I do 1 through 4? Yeah. Okay, number 5. It is 11/13 plus 2 1/13. I'll be honest, I don't know why I even did this one, but common denominator is already there, right? It's almost too easy. 11 plus 1? 12 13ths. Bring down a 2. Anyway, it's okay. I don't know if I wrote it wrong or what. Okay, the last two, 6 and 7, let me just write them down. And I've gone over all these in every class, hoping to refresh your minds, okay? Okay, 6 and 7. So, I'm looking at it, it's division. I gotta keep change flip. Keep 8/9, change to multiply, flip it over to 7/2. Okay, I'm looking. The 2 and the 8 simplify. So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 8 4. Gives me 28/9. 9 goes into 28 3 times, which is 27. So my final answer is 3 1/9. Are we good on that one? Keep change flip is only used in division problems. And it's kind of like how you get rid of the division and change it to multiplication. And all it is, it's kind of like goes back to the whole 3 times 2 is 6 and 2 times 3 is 6. Since we can reverse numbers and get the same answer and multiply, okay? When you flip this over right here, I'm literally flipping it over. Okay, right, we keep this side the same. Keep it exactly the way it is. Change it to multiply. Thank goodness, because that's easier. And then flip it over, literally put the 7 on top. Once you keep change flipped it, to be honest, you can kind of cover this up and start it. You don't even need to look over there. Okay? You could go straight across. You could do 8 times 7 is 56, 9 times 2 is 18, and then you would just have more simplifying to do. Okay? But from here down, it is the same as this, stepwise. Okay? So this one, if you wanted to, well, honestly, it's the only way it would work. 7 times 2, 14, 9 times 9, 81. It doesn't simplify, so you're good to go. Okay. It's been a while, but we did multiply, divide was big time 6th grade stuff. Okay. Okay, so that was just a little short review on the fractions. Just the fractions. Are we good on that? Okay. I'm going to give you a large hint. Will you get out your study guide from yesterday, the multi-page thing? I'll give you some hints. We're going to talk about the last section. Okay. And like I said, when we created this thing, I thought we had a week to do it in. So that's why I've shortened it, if you're wondering why I've shortened it. Okay. We did the statistics yesterday. Okay. And more statistics. Hint, hint. even though Willis and Sawyer probably aren't telling their kids, listen, this we're not doing. If you need to, like I'm going on without you. Meaning, this is not on the test. I'm just, don't say anything. It's just, I forgot to put it on there, and so I'm not remaking the test. Okay. Here's the last part. Are you ready? Like, does that make sense? Okay. Like, it's just not on there, so I'm skipping it. Okay. Now, the part that is on the test is the integers. The negative and positive integers. So I need you to kind of flip to the back of the second page. Give me a second here. I'm going to find a clean copy of the good old study guide. I'm on the... Okay, this page. Okay, so I'm on the kind of the second to back page. I know, it's weird. Okay, and we're going to do, this is what I've done in all my classes. Well, you start with just number 9 and go down to 28. Okay, just 9 through 28. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a few minutes to kind of work on those if you haven't already done them, which my group shouldn't have. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Not just 9 through 28. Okay, so it is working. What I'm going to do now, we're going to start with number 9. I'm going to start with, honestly, the add and subtract. And just do those. Just kind of talk about the rules and all that good stuff. Okay. And like I've said, I'm really just begging you to learn it for your sake for next year. You don't want to start out your 7th grade year bombing the first 9 weeks, okay? So for add and subtract of integers, add and subtract. Okay, add and subtract. Okay, the first rule was, if they had double signs, like that, we changed it to add. Does everybody remember that? And then if they were like different signs, we changed it to subtract. Okay, so I'm going to look at just these that have double middle signs. This one should be changed to this. This one should be changed to this. This one should be changed to that. Make sure I can see it. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Looking down here, that one should change. And that would be it. Okay, listen. Those are the only ones that should be rewritten on those. The rest of them should be just the way they were. Okay, the next step. If they have the same signs, we add. Different signs, subtract. Okay, so I'm only going to do that step. Here we go. I see same signs, I should add. Okay, different signs, subtract. Same signs, add. Same signs, add. Different signs, subtract. Same signs, add. Different signs, subtract. Same signs, add. Okay, now the last step is, for add and subtract, keep the sign of the larger number. Okay, absolute value larger number. So, when I look at a 10 and a 4, a 10, just a boring old 10, would be bigger. Since 10 has a negative sign, 14 should be negative. Since 18 is negative, 11 should be negative. 6 is positive, answer is positive. 11 is positive. 10 is negative, so this should be negative. 10 is negative. That should be negative. 6 is positive. 7 is negative. Okay. Any questions on just those? The add and subtract. Tomorrow, no calculator on this part. On this part, no calculator. Y'all know that. What you will be doing is 1 through 10, you will do and get finished with. And then you will trade me for the second part of the test that is the calculator part. But like this, we should be able to do, and honestly pretty quick. Kind of like what I just did. Okay, now looking at 17 on. 17 through 28 is all the multiply divide. If I kind of go down a little bit here, what I'm going to do is not only work them, we're going to talk about the rules again. Okay. I'm trying here. Okay. So, multiply divide. Okay. My step 1 for multiply divide was what I call do the math first. I don't know what else to call it. I call it do the math. Meaning get the number. Get the answer number. Just the number. Okay. So like 18 divided by 6 is 3. 14 times 2 is 28. This is 35. And I'm just like, I'm ignoring the symbols but doing the math. Guys, we got to know that that means multiply. Okay. We got to know that the fraction bar means division. We got to know that that means multiply. We got to know that that means multiply. 2 sets of parentheses bumped up against each other. Okay. Now, the last thing to do with the multiply divide is to, if they have the same signs, we're going to have a positive answer. If they have different signs, we're going to have a negative answer. Okay, so I look at this. This one's positive, that one's negative. So they are different signs, negative answer. Different signs, negative answer. Different signs, negative answer. Okay, this one's same signs. 2 negatives. So, same signs, positive answer. Different negative. Same signs, positive. Different negative. Different negative. Different negative. I'm trying. Same signs, positive. Different negative. Same signs, positive. Okay, tomorrow, if you need to write the rules out, jot them out. It's not a big deal. Okay. Okay, any questions on those? I want to say there's like 5 of these and 5 of the fraction problems. So, last thing, just to kind of throw this out there. We did cover the statistics yesterday, and so just to kind of refresh, make sure if you haven't seen the video or whatever, yesterday we talked about statistical, non-statistical, finding the mean, median, mode, and range. I'm assuming we were all here and all that. We did the one with all the steps to it, box and whisker, histogram, stem and leaf. Yes. Not really. To be honest, I'm just going to jump into the 9 weeks test. I'm not officially assigning this for homework because I wanted the video to hear this because I know some of you have study guides for other classes and stuff. And with this weird schedule, I know some of you by Monday, we don't know what schedule we're going to have. So, here's the plan. If you are here tomorrow, be ready to take the test. Okay? Here's the second thing, though. If you're in band and you won't be here Friday, or if you are sick and you miss Friday, be ready on Monday to take it. If for some reason we're in state testing and I don't see you Monday, which is a big possibility, then be ready Tuesday, okay, if you haven't taken it. And, keeps going like that. So that's the plan. I figure we have all next week to make it up if you miss it tomorrow. So I felt like I just wanted to get through this review more than to make you take it today. So, and as for the rest of it, if you want to do pieces of parts, you can. I just kind of only did what I needed to do. So, any questions? 30 questions, A, B, C, D. It will be a one-day test because a lot of it's short and fast and sweet and quick. Okay? So, 30 questions, but shouldn't be that big a deal.